This video is about the Suboxone lawsuits. We'll tell you what's happening right now in the litigation, and we'll talk about potential settlement amounts for victims. First, let's talk about Suboxone. Suboxone is a prescription drug used for the treatment of opioid addiction. Suboxone has been around for a while as a pill, but a few years ago it came out in a new sublingual film version that dissolves in the mouth. Suboxone dissolvable film on a daily basis can cause rapid and severe tooth decay, resulting in cavities, loss of teeth, and various other dental problems. The makers of Suboxone knew this. Our lawyers argue that they knew this for a long time and didn't tell doctors and patients because they thought it would cost them profits. The result has been dental damage caused by Suboxone that can often be very painful and require expensive dental procedures. So the manufacturer of Suboxone was well aware that the sublingual version of the drug caused tooth decay. However, when this version of Suboxone was first released, the drug label did not contain any warning to doctors or patients about the risk of tooth decay. As a result, thousands of people who took Suboxone without realizing that it was rotting their teeth. In January 2022, the FDA issued a public safety warning about the risk of tooth decay associated with Suboxone. It was not until after this FDA warning that the manufacturer added a warning about tooth decay to the label for Suboxone. In 2023, a growing number of Suboxone tooth decay lawsuits began getting filed across the country. The lawsuits were filed by Suboxone users who suffered tooth decay and damage. The primary allegation in these lawsuits was that the manufacturer was negligent in failing to warn about the tooth decay risk from the beginning. Earlier this year, the Suboxone tooth decay lawsuits were consolidated into a new class action MDL in the Northern District of Ohio. What's an MDL? An MDL is a legal procedure designed to speed the process of handling complex cases, such as those involving large numbers of plaintiffs. In an MDL, individual lawsuits that share common factual questions are transferred to a single district court for pretrial proceedings. Unlike a class action, where plaintiffs are grouped into a single lawsuit under a representative, in an MDL, each Suboxone lawsuit remains individual and can have its own trial or settlement, allowing for more personalized outcomes based on individual circumstances. As of March 2024, there are just over 50 cases pending in the Suboxone MDL. That number is expected to grow very rapidly, however, as the size of the potential plaintiff field in this litigation is very big. Based on the volume of leads and calls our firm has gotten, we think Suboxone will grow into one of the biggest mass torts in the country by the end of this year. Right now, the Suboxone class action MDL is in its very early stages. In the next few weeks, the MDL will establish a plan and timeline for the consolidated discovery phase. After that phase is completed, a handful of sample cases could be selected for bellwether test trials. What will the average Suboxone settlement and verdict be? That's a big question. Of course, we don't really know at this point, but we can make predictions. First, let's talk about verdicts. There's a real chance for punitive damages if these cases go to trial. So Suboxone payouts for cases that go to trial could well be in the millions. Settlement is a different matter. Most Suboxone settlements will likely come in the $30,000 to $150,000 range. What will matter most as to what victims get? There will likely be a point system. A point system in MDL, such as the one involving Suboxone for dental injuries, typically aims to categorize claims based on the severity of injuries and other factors. Such compensation systems often assess factors like the extent of dental damage, the cost of dental treatment, and the impact on the plaintiff's quality of life. These factors help determine the compensation each plaintiff may receive, ensuring that those with the more severe injuries get bigger settlements. We think this litigation could potentially be resolved in a global settlement long before we get to any bellwether test trials. Our firm is currently accepting Suboxone cases in 27 states. If you took Suboxone and suffered dental loss or damage, call us today at 800-553-8082.